What would happen if one of the most technologically advanced military systems in the world admitted it doesn't have all the answers? In June 2026, the United States government opened thousands of pages of previously classified UFO records. Military pilots, radar operators, intelligence agencies. For decades, they documented encounters they could not identify. Some appeared to move in ways that challenged conventional explanations and known aerospace technology. Some were detected by multiple military sensors at the same time and remain unexplained today. But buried inside those files is a far bigger question than anyone expected. Not whether aliens exist, but whether humanity truly understands what is happening in its own skies. Because if the United States still cannot explain some of these encounters, who can? To understand why these files matter, we need to go back nearly 80 years, to the beginning of a mystery that refuses to disappear, no matter how much technology advances. For most of the 20th century, strange objects in the sky occupied a unique place in American culture. Military personnel reported them. Commercial pilots reported them. Ordinary citizens reported them. Yet almost every sighting seemed to end the same way: questions, speculation, and silence. Over the decades, governments collected thousands of reports, investigations, photographs, and witness accounts. Some were eventually explained. Others remained locked away in classified archives for generations. Many sightings were eventually explained as weather balloons, experimental aircraft, or natural atmospheric phenomena. But not every case fit those explanations. A small number remained stubbornly unresolved. Investigators closed some files with answers. Others were simply marked unknown. Year after year, reports continued arriving from military bases, airports, and remote regions. As technology improved, investigators expected the mystery to disappear. Instead, it grew more complicated. Modern radar systems could track objects farther and more accurately than ever before. Infrared cameras captured heat signatures, invisible to the human eye.
Satellites monitored vast regions of Earth around the clock.
Yet despite these advances, some encounters remained difficult to explain. Then came a decision that would change the conversation forever. In 2026, the United States began opening files that had remained hidden for decades. Researchers, journalists, and ordinary citizens rushed to examine the documents. Soon, investigators realized these files contained far more than isolated incidents. One case after another revealed the same unsettling truth. Trained observers were reporting things they could not identify. Among thousands of reports, one incident would become the starting point of America's greatest UFO mystery. July 1947, a ranch outside Roswell, New Mexico. What happened there would become one of the most debated events in modern history. Rancher William Mac Brazel discovered strange debris scattered across his land after a powerful storm. Believing the debris might have military importance, Brazel decided to report his discovery to local authorities. Within days, the discovery reached officials at the Roswell Army Airfield, setting an extraordinary investigation in motion. Military intelligence officers carefully examined the recovered material, searching for any clue to its origin. Then, on July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Airfield issued a statement that stunned the nation. Within hours, newspapers across America carried a headline that captured the nation's attention. But less than 24 hours later, the story suddenly changed. To support the revised explanation, military officials presented photographs of the recovered debris, identifying it as parts of a weather balloon. But as the years passed, some of the people involved began telling a very different story. One of those voices belonged to Major Jesse Marcel, the intelligence officer who first examined the recovered material. Decades later, the material he remembered was unlike anything he had seen before. Marcel's recollections were not the only ones. Over time, other witnesses also described events that differed from the official explanation. As new testimony emerged, the Roswell incident gradually evolved into one of history's most debated mysteries. Decades later, the U.S. government reopened the Roswell case, releasing official reports that offered a different explanation. According to the official reports, the recovered debris most likely came from a highly classified U.S. military project known as Project Mogul. Project Mogul was a top-secret Cold War program designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests using high-altitude balloon arrays. Supporters of the official explanation pointed to the balloon's lightweight materials, arguing that they closely matched the debris recovered near Roswell. But not everyone agreed. Some witnesses later insisted that the debris they remembered looked nothing like ordinary balloon materials. Several witnesses later claimed the material they recovered was unusually light, remarkably strong, and unlike anything they had handled before. Investigators compared those witness accounts with the official evidence. But the two versions never aligned perfectly. Decades later, the Roswell incident remains one of the most debated mysteries in modern American history.
From history books to documentaries and popular culture, Roswell became far more than a single event. It became a lasting symbol of mystery,